And I didn't think back then, oh, maybe I shouldn't go for double D. Maybe I shouldn't go for D. I simply said, well, go as big as you possibly can with my small frames.
Only been a few hours, but it felt like days. Only been days, but it felt like months. Been gone for a year, only know like once. Life moves fast when you're doing what you want.
Welcome and welcome back to my channel. My name is Raquelle Lynnette. If this is your first time ever seeing my face, guys, I do a lot of beauty tutorials, first impressions, reviews. I will be incorporating my vlogs as well as talk throughs and just everyday life. I'm a CEO and a mom of two, so if that is your vibe, if you're interested, go ahead and click the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. So I'm coming out here today to shed some light on a condition called Symmastia. So Symmastia is something that I unfortunately got to experience firsthand after having my first breast augmentation, and I just wanted to come in here and shed light on the subject, give you guys a walkthrough of what I experienced, how to correct it, who to go to, and my results 3.5 weeks post-op. So disclaimer before we even start this video, okay? Number one, I'm not a board certified plastic surgeon. Everything that I've got, all the materials are from research, my own personal experience, and speaking to my doctor, who is a very, very well-known, highly practiced, board certified, like super high ranked surgeon. But for me, for my credentials, I have nothing of that. So just listen to me. I'm not giving you any kind of medical advice, just giving you my experience and what I can muster medically. Number two, we're not going to be hearing no type of shade about, oh, you shouldn't have got your boobs. Why do people need boobs? Just be happy with themselves. Like, this is not the area for you if you are a body shamer. If you're Team Natural, go ahead and watch something with Team Natural, because I don't have time. I'm spreading insight on women who need this information, women who want it fixed, and just to precaution those of you who want to invest your money in breast augmentations. So with that being said, let's go ahead and dive right in. All right, so first things first, these are my new boobs, 3.5 weeks post-op. I am 385 cc's in silicone behind the breast tissue. The first time I got my breast augmentation was in 2017. It was by MIA Aesthetics. They had just launched their practice. I went to Dr. Alvarez in Miami. It was a little, I think it was $3,000. I put down a deposit and I paid the rest in cash when I got there. So we were sold this image when we got there that it was going to be this really new clinic and operating clinic, right? But when I got down there, it hadn't opened yet. So they took me to like this hole in the wall place and gave me my implants. And unfortunately, me seeking out a good deal was something I would soon regret. I wanted originally to have 450 cc's. I wanted huge fake looking boobs because ever since I was 9 years old, I'd always wanted huge breasts. We can thank Baywatch, we can thank Pamela Anderson and Carmen Electra. I just, hourglass, slim, thick figure, I just wanted that. I'd always wanted that. So that's what I went for. And Dr. Alvarez told me, he was like, your frame is way too petite. You are too little. Your frame is too small for me to fit an implant in your body. And I didn't think back then, oh, maybe I shouldn't go for double D. Maybe I shouldn't go for D. I simply said, well, go as big as you possibly can with my small frame. So he did that. He went submuscular and I got 400 cc's, which ended up being a D. Loved the results. Everything was fine for a while. I don't blame this instant. I don't blame my Symmastia on my doctor. I do want to let you know. I don't blame my Symmastia on him. He was simply trying to fulfill my desires, and he did go less than what I suggested. However, back then I was still a size 2, and I did some type of exercise thing about a couple of years, and I did something and I pulled something, and then after I did that while working out, I started to see a growth in the middle of my chest, and it just looked like a uniboob. And I didn't know that that wasn't really normal. I know I didn't like the way it looked, but did I know that it wasn't normal? No. I kind of thought like, hey, maybe it'll go away. I don't know. But as I started to talk about my breast augmentations, some girl said, does she have Symmastia, on one of my videos? And I was like, what the heck is that? I've never heard of that terminology. And I do feel like, you know, doctors, before getting breast augmentations, I just feel like we need to look at the Symmastia, okay? We always hear about the implant capsulating and being stuck or going hard or dropping out or them being uncomfortable. However, you never hear the term Symmastia, and unfortunately it is more common than you'd think. I feel like it should be brought to the forefront, which is why I'm making this video in 2024. Breast implants have been around for years and years and years. Unfortunately, a lot of people don't talk about this. So there are two kinds of Symmastia. There's a Symmastia that you're born with, that's called congenital Symmastia. Sometimes men are born with like a uniboob, and that is harder to correct. And then there's the Symmastia that I had, which comes from breast augmentation, which unfortunately the middle part of your cleavage area lifts up and then it forms a uniboob. Now my doctor told me when he went in, I didn't have so much Symmastia from the implant pushing towards me, but that it just was contributed to my petite small frame. Now I know I'm 5'2", and I did gain some weight, you know, and I haven't shed all that extra weight, but I still didn't really think that my frame was super petite. I see the littlest women with the hugest boobs. Like, I never thought that it was a thing that you could actually get an implant that was too big for your physical frame. So after a while, I was like, I don't really like the way this is looking, blah, blah, blah. Maybe it'll fix itself, and just kept traveling and going on with life. Then one day, I turned over to the side, this side, and pop, my saline breast implant popped. Yes, so the first time I ever got breast implants were saline because I was scared. It was cheaper. I was like, okay, whatever. If anything happens, at least it'll be leaking and I can feel, you know, and I'll know that it's deflating rather than being petrified by the horror stories that you've heard about silicone. So the first time I ever got my breasts done was saline. Now, I will say there is a significant feel and difference of saline to silicone. I feel like a lot of people don't talk about this, and I'm just happy that I've had both so I can come in here and let you guys know. Having the saline, they don't look real. They look like fake boobs. They just didn't look real. Like, they just didn't look, they looked fake, and that's fine because that's what I was going for originally, guys, right? So they looked fake and they looked perky, and they just always looked fake. They never looked real. Now immediately with the silicone, these are dropping and they look very, very natural. They look very natural and they're actually bouncing. The saline weren't bouncing. They never bounced. They never freaking bounced. And these are starting to settle in. They're still dropping. It takes 6 weeks, 3 to 6 months to really drop and form fit. However, I will say they are significantly heavier. So I don't know. I'm already starting to like the silicone better. And they are actually in my breast tissue, so that could contribute to the heaviness. However, the more natural looking, it looks more natural. It just looks more natural. It feels more natural. It's only been 3.5 weeks and they feel more natural. The saline just never fit. They just never felt like they were my boobs. I don't know. That's what I'm getting so far. Rewind a little bit, back to after my saline boob popped. I was going through a little bit of a depression. I was moving back to Minnesota. I am a beauty blogger, so like I'm doing beauty blogging and I can't do the outfit of the days because when my breasts are deflated, I'm like, oh my God, what do I do? Not only is one of my breasts deflated, but I think I have Symmastia by my own personal research. So I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I gonna do? This is going to be so expensive for me to fix my chest. And you're right, it was the most expensive surgery that I've ever had. It's the most expensive surgery I think anyone that I know of has ever had. It cost around it was about $16,000. $16,000 to repair. That was the cost. Because not only do they need to go in and take out the old implants and take out the shell that forms around your breast implant, they also need to clean the area, and then to fix the Symmastia, you have to suture down the inside and get that all tapered down to create the cleavage line. And then I got the silicone, so those were an extra charge on top of that. And then you are supposed to get a thong bra, which is a bra that goes in between this, and you wear that for like, you're supposed to wear it for 6 weeks. My doctor said I don't have to wear it continuously for 6 weeks. I wore it nonstop for 2 weeks, and I started to get irritated. I had like scars and stuff, so he told me to switch out with the sports bra. So I've just been wearing my Joja I've just been wearing my Joja sports bras and women's best. Those are the most comfortable ones that I've experienced so far. The Nike ones are so tight. They like suffocate my breasts. So these are the only kind of ones that I have been wearing. I will link everything down below for you guys. But yeah, immediately after I got out of surgery, I was like, this does not look good. And I was just freaking out. And apparently I was not the best client because we're just going to keep it a buck. My experience wasn't what I thought it was going to be. Did the surgery perform great? Did he do a great job? Yes. I will recommend Dr. Moliver 10 times out of 10. Dr. Moliver knows what he's doing. I feel like he's the best in the country. Every single time I was doing research on how to correct the Symmastia, what Symmastia was, he would pop up. He has studied this. It's not just something for a cash grab. This man is passionate and he knows what he's doing. So I was like, I could go cheaper and get it done and maybe have to go back. Otherwise, I can just invest the money and do it right the first time. And I really, truly, honestly feel like I did it right the first time. Dr. Moliver and his team, we had a couple of hiccups here. He's a great surgeon. He knows what he's doing, and he means business. So if you are experiencing Symmastia, you do need to get it fixed. It's not going to get any better, and the longer you wait, the more tissue builds up. He said there was a lot of breast tissue that he had to work through to get me to get some cleavage. And let's just show what we have going on here. This is what it's looking like so far. It's not all the way healed yet. We are not 100% healed yet, but even as you can see right here, before it was all one uniboob. It was a one uniboob, and I was just hoping and praying like nobody would ever catch on, but some people would catch on to try to like throw shade and or whatever. So, you know, rather than me living that, I'm just happy that I got it fixed. So we will break down how much it cost. So I had to fly to Houston. I was getting pre-op appointments with Dr. Moliver and his team. You pay $250 to get him on camera, which is like an honor because this man really changed my life already. And then he tells you what you think, and then you put the deposit. They give you a quote and very clear communication. And they give you suggestions of where you should stay. I would say all in all, it was about, I would say I had a really good experience. Maybe I'm a little bit of a princess. I don't do very well with pain. I couldn't pee. I didn't really have a good experience with the anesthesiologist. She was very rude to me. I asked her if I was going to go to sleep after she put something in my arm. She said no. I will say Dr. Moliver's nurse is so nice. I will say the nurse is nice too, who you talk to. I was freaking out. I kept calling them. And I will say these are some things that you do need to know about Dr. Moliver, and I'm just going to keep it very, very, very clear. The price that you are getting is something that is going to change your life. I don't want you to turn your nose up to it, and I don't want you to think that you could go somewhere else and get it cheaper. Of course you probably could, and it may work for you. Everyone's different. I just feel like he got to the root of the problem and did what he was supposed to do, and I don't have to go back. I see so many of the Symmastia girls on YouTube. I watched their stories. They've gone back 2 and 3 times. With him, I just don't think that I'm gonna have to go back again. He's like, already I'm seeing the difference and the definition. So there's that. Number 2, they do not prescribe opioids or narcotics. He gives you a blend of Celebrex and gabapentin. One is a muscle relaxer and one is just like a turbo Advil. If you can't deal with that, like, you shouldn't go there. Complained about my pain until I finally was giving something heavier. But if you don't want to be hooked on pain pills or anything, this combination will help with your pain. I just feel like I had so much scar tissue or whatever that I needed something more just for a few days. So I got something just for a few days. I'm not dependent on any kind of drugs. I don't like taking drugs. I just needed it to manage my pain. So that is a good option. He really truly swears by not giving any kind of opioids because he doesn't want his patients hooked on drugs. But you really are going to have to bat for yourself to get those. The third thing is it's a quick and easy process. Do not pee. There's some of the communication was botched and up in the air. Office full of beautiful Latina women, but there was some communication that was off that I didn't even get. Of course, it's probably common sense to not pee before surgery, but when you're nervous, when you're a nervous wreck, maybe you're just using the bathroom because you didn't know. So I used the bathroom and I couldn't go to the bathroom, and it was just an issue because I wasn't verbally told on the instructions or anywhere, don't go pee, nowhere. So I did, whoops, and it was like a big issue. Make note that you are going to be down. You are going to be down. After I got my breast implants the first time, like, I'm gonna roll the clip. I was on South Beach getting drinks with my kid's dad. Like, I was fine. I was on like pain pills and I was cool. Like, it was like a walk in the park, I promise you. But this one, I was down for 2.5 weeks. I couldn't drive, I couldn't move, I was miserable, absolutely miserable. And then I feel like the depression started to sink in because I'm like, I want to get back to content creating. I can't do this, I can't do that. What am I supposed to do? Just feel like the world is slipping away. So make note, if you are a content creator or if you have anything going on, like a business or anything, try to pre-batch, pre-film, because even though I did that, it was not enough content still. 2.5 weeks, then around 3 weeks is when I started to roll around and start to get out of the little funk and started to be able to move. And now here we are at 3.5 weeks, and I'm still having a little bit of creaks and a little bit of tinges and pain, the incision, and like, you know, still settling into my body. But outside of that, I'm pretty much like an 8.5 out of a 10 back to normal, which is a really good turnaround time. So just allow for the time that you're going to need to heal. Make the investment, even if it's like a payment plan. Save up if you're experiencing Symmastia, because the longer you wait, the worse it's going to get, the more scar tissue. And if you want it done right, do it the first time. Make the investment and then go to Dr. Moliver. I truly know he knows what he's doing. Even if I wasn't so trusting in the process. A lot of the time I wasn't, because whatever. I was scared, okay? I can admit I was so scared. I would call the nurse and like, oh my God, what am I gonna do if I don't have any opioids? I can't handle pain. What am I gonna do? I called her like 6 times and she's like, oh my God, I'm glad that girl's at our office, because I was scared. But like, it all went good. It all went good. Everything was great. It's in Houston, Texas. So the rodeo was in town. It was just a lot. It was just crazy at that time. I didn't know that the rodeo was so significant to people, but I guess it is. And number 3, don't be embarrassed of going through Symmastia. Yeah, it gets embarrassing because you know, like, people know like it's not supposed to look like that. But just know that there are solutions and you can get fixed. And you can still keep your breast implants if that's what you want. I never wanted to take my breast implants out. I never thought like this was a bad decision. I should have never got them. I never thought that at all. All I simply thought was, how am I gonna get this fixed? And I did get it fixed. And so again, I was at a 400cc saline implant. I went down to 385cc with my silicone. I didn't want to go down to 385. I didn't. I told my doctor to do 420. And then he was like, well, we'll see. We'll get the spacers and see what's gonna happen. And then I was like, okay, if 420 doesn't work, let's just go back to 400, because I was already stretched for 400, right? Nope, we go down to 385, and guess what? It was the best decision ever. That's why I say, like, I'm really confident with Dr. Moliver. He makes the right decisions for his patients. He's thorough, clean, knows what he's doing. Such a great investment. I feel good. I'm gonna be out in a bikini, like, not afraid to put a regular top on because of my Symmastia. So I am healing and I'm happy and I'm confident in Dr. Moliver, and I would recommend him to any of you people who are experiencing Symmastia, whether that be congenital or from a breast augmentation surgery. So if you have any more questions, if I didn't cover anything, please leave me a comment down below. Give this a thumbs up if this helped you in any way. I am an open book. I would love to answer any more questions for you guys. I will place the links for Dr. Moliver down below. Okay, and then so there's just some things I want to let you guys know that you are going to need for recovery in my 2.5 weeks of misery. I got this 45-degree pillow off of Amazon, which was significant to me. Having pillows is not just going to do it. You need the 45-degree pillow. It has a thing where you put your feet up as well, and you can't lay down directly on your back, so you're going to need that. You're going to need ice packs. You're going to need a thong bra that is trademarked from a woman who got Symmastia repair surgery, and it's a little tight, but you are going to need that. And I also did get another one off of Amazon that's what I've been using at night now. I haven't been using the thong bra. I used that one, and that one originally was to keep from creasing for you getting wrinkles on your chest, but it's so soft and so stretchy that I use that now in my healing outside of the harnessed thong bra. So you're going to need both of those. You're also going to need clothes that you know that are going to take too much for you to get in and get out, okay? Like a gown or something that's going to zip up. Loose clothing, like for real, you're going to be kind of hunched over. I was hunched over for a long time. Needed gowns. I just got like some gowns from Target. You can get the gowns off of Target. It was just super easy because it's just a really hard thing to do with T-Rex like movements, and you really have to do those T-Rex movements because you don't want the sutures to come loose. So everything that I suggest, I'm going to have the link directly down below. Tied and true, everything that I bought I used, so if you guys need that reference is down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this helps somebody, because I've been that girl to search through YouTube videos trying to find the answers, and I'm hoping this is the answer in real time, 2024 and beyond. So leave me a comment down below, give this a thumbs up, and I'll see y'all in another one of my videos very soon.